What Ethan is doing with his millions is class warfare to silence criticism. I disagree. And again, silence what criticism? You spent more time smoking than you did actually talking in the video. And when you did talk in the video, you were saying that like, oh yeah, I don't even know where we are. I don't even know what's going on. Like, hun, I'm not gonna lie, you maxed out your conjuration and spawned some Jamora lords being these lawyers, but I'm not gonna lie, it needs like, not even needs, it is a factor that must happen that you need to conjure up some brain cells. You gotta conjure up some brain cells. This is like, it's dumb. It's dumb. Is class warfare to silence criticism? You didn't even levy out criticism. You didn't say anything at all. You had nothing to add to the video at all. Nothing! You already know what it is, baby. You've seen title and thumbnail. Some more updates in the EHDIA Plus cinematic universe. In specific with the Denims, Kaceytron, and Frogan malicious copyright infringement lawsuit. In specific with that. With Ethan Klein, of course, a clone of the H3 Podcast, versus Kaceytron. Because apparently Kaceytron tried to go for a settlement within her process of the lawsuit. And yeah, that boy denied! So you already know we gotta take a poopsie at the update, see what's going on with that baby. So I ain't gonna waste no more time. Trilly talks everything. Trilly doesn't need up everything every single time. Let's see what's going on with Ethan Klein versus Kaceytron. Of course, shout out to love with Lus. We got Ethan Klein versus Kaceytron. Settlement is off the table. Ethan Klein. Of course, if you guys would like to watch the OG video, down in the description. First link, sure to love it, of course. Lus. And let's not waste any more time, baby. We gotta see what's going on. Again. With Ethan Klein versus Kaceytron in a malicious copyright infringement lawsuit. Let's do it.
Hey guys, today we are gonna go over Ethan Klein's, and it's interesting enough, Kaceytron. Kaceytron has been very vocal recently, whether or not that is a good decision as
I heard she had some tweets.
a defendant. Now, being vocal as a plaintiff is very different than being vocal as a defendant. As a defendant, your best case scenario is some type of early settlement. The reason this would make sense is your legal fees will be much less. Remember,
I ain't gonna lie. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spells. We know Kaceytron has max conjuration because, you know, she was casting spells the other day on that jump when she had the Salt Circle, you know, the jump from SpongeBob, bro, the Sea Bear Circle. Bro, she done conjured up 3 Dremora Lords I talk about all the time, them lawyers. I don't know where she got the cheese. Hopefully she can conjure that up too.
Being Carl Jobs versus, or Bailey Mitchell versus Carl Jobs, the legal fees were far, for either side, by the way, so when combined, you're talking about $1.4 million or more.
Sheesh. Okay, so here's the tweets. So funny seeing all the foot fungi feigning concern over my recreational drug use. I spend less than a fraction of what privileged crybaby Starkiller does on DoorDash orders. Bruh. The whole Twitch talk. Yo, who told you to talk, bro? Anyway, we're wasting time on a... I don't even know. Do we consider her a witch? I mean, she can cast spells. It's tough. But anyway, yeah. What are we talking about here? I spend less than a fraction of what privileged crybaby Starkiller AB does on DoorDash orders. Like, all still existing H3 fans are just showing how incredibly hypocritical they are. They're not. And funny enough, again, we're talking about anyone showing hypocrisy. Smoke before she spoke? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty hypocritical to say that, yeah, man, you were doing a fair use reaction when you have, again, 18 minutes of smoking versus 15 minutes of commentary on a video that's an hour and 42 minutes. Looking pretty hypocritical.
4 million Australian dollars or more, when the verdict itself was around $400,000 after interest and so on. So the legal fees is what you would mostly want to be saving, as they can be quite massive in this type of case. The longer the case goes on, there's the belief, or there's the setting, that this case will take over a year of legal fees. You're talking about at least $100,000-$200,000. So any...
Oh, but trust me, Ethan, by the end of this, you will know who I am. Yeah, unfortunately, we know who you are right now, and how well is that going for you, Kaceytron? I'm a survivor of circumstances that would make you crumble. Let the victim complex wars begin. We know that's a max out stat for you. For sure. Begin to let it be known I am innocent. You're not. Again, smoke before she spoke. We just went over it. White women being targeted by an insecure man for being friends with a son. Again, like this is straight id bullshit. Like you always try to bring identity politics into this. What does you having like? What does you being a white woman have to do with you again committing a malicious copyright infringement? Just like again with you being a woman, that does not make the lawsuit misogynist. Again, you were just a stupid girly pop.
Girly pop.
That unfortunately decided that you were going to smoke over a video instead of adding commentary, making it transformative. Like I don't know what we're doing.
Anytime that you have the option to be nice, be nice. But if you are not nice, then you should also remain silent. So as the defendant, so I'm talking about Kaceytron as the defendant. If you're interested, we'll talk about should the plaintiff, Ethan Klein, also remain quiet about Kaceytron. It's a different scenario. So when you're facing a copyright infringement lawsuit, your instinct might be to defend yourself publicly, especially if you feel wrongfully accused. But speaking out on...
You aren't going to threaten my entire livelihood with frivolous lawsuits. Oh my god, we're still using the Hassan talking points.
Fuck it, I'm saying it.
Fuck it, I'm saying it. Frivolous lawsuits, these vexatious litigants. Bomboclad Wagwan. He still doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Hassan thinks he knows more about the law than a lawyer. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Again, this shit is not frivolous. You blatantly did this, Joe. How many times do you have to say smoke before we spoke, Kaceytron? And just get away with it, Ethan Klein. I'm going to expose the suffering that you're making me an innocent white woman again, bringing innocent, my dumbass. Again, bringing idpol politics into this shit. Idpol politics literally stands for identity politics, my dumbass. Really can't grammar for shit. Anyway, like, yeah, you're bringing this up again. Like, this does not matter. This is irrelevant. It doesn't matter what your race, identity, gender, none of that shit is. If you commit malicious copyright infringement, then you deserve to be sued.
Social media can seriously
and go through every step of the way.
Hurt your case, and here's why silence is the best strategy that every single attorney, unless they were insane, is going to tell Kaceytron, hey, just be quiet. So anything you post can be used as evidence. So the more that you post, the more evidence you're giving. Social media posts are public records that can be screenshotted or subpoenaed by the opposing party.
Oh boy, can they be archived?
Even a casual comment just on your live stream, hey, I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't understand why he copyright sued me.
You think I'm a bitch? Don't say it to the girly pops.
Girly pop.
But absolutely. You're an annoying ass bitch, let me tell you. What cruel, disgusting thing have I done to you? Again, who is she talking to specifically? But if you're talking about Ethan, again, malicious copyright infringement. We went over this. Last I checked, you were the one that sued me for something you know is bullshit. Nah, he doesn't know it's bullshit because no one knows that it's bullshit. Again, it's not a 100% chance that Ethan is going to win the lawsuits, but it's looking like with you, ooh, it's definitely at 100. It might be 110. But sidebar on that, I ain't even gonna lie. Again, what do you mean that this is BS, Casey? What do you mean that this is BS? Again, smoke before she spoke. 18 minutes of actually, I'm messing it up. 18 minutes of smoking versus 15 minutes of commentary on an hour 42 video. You lose. You lose. For sure. Without even knowing who I am. I mean, does it matter if he knows who you are or not? Again, if you maliciously, steal his video, then yeah. It doesn't matter. He's still getting sued. What kind of millionaire monster does that to someone who makes a fraction of what they do? Who fucking cares? Why are you doing malicious copyright infringement?
Could be twisted into kind of a mission of guilt. So with all the talking that Kaceytron and Dennings have been doing, a lot of it verges on and may even cross the line of a mission of guilt. So if Ethan Klein and his legal team is smart, they will just kind of log into their live streams and record this stuff. Because like 8 to 9 hours, like these individuals stream a large amount of time. It is very.
Let me see. I want to take the time to also say that I am praying for that Olivia girl. I hope. First of all, it is so fucking annoying with y'all bulls. Y'all know, you know what I'm saying, the hun, Miss Olivia, she's on a mental health break, and you fools are still trying to weaponize, you know what I'm saying, obviously her and like what she's going through right now against her and like Ethan and the crew. You motherfuckers are lame as shit. I'm gonna keep telling you niggas. You gotta get off of Hassan's cock, man. Y'all pushing a narrative that's gonna get you nowhere. And again, you're all purity testers, so realistically, it's never gonna get anywhere. You guys are probably never gonna be enough for each other. Stupid asses.
Likely that they may make a mistake or even Admission of guilt is very easy to do when you're just constantly online, even if you're not guilty. Take it from somebody who has experienced this myself, where you can just take snippets of what I said and basically make an entire video about a topic that I wasn't out of context.
Mm-hmm.
So these little snippets can be taken out of context, and that's why you shouldn't provide these little snippets if possible. If you delete posts later, they can accuse you of destroying evidence, which the legal term is spoliation, and there
Yep, and that's a big no-no. You're not doing that.
is a legal consequence for this, which looks very, very bad in court.
Mm-hmm.
An example of this, a photographer sues you for using one of their photos without permission. You tweet, "It was just a free stock image I found online." The plaintiff then uses the post to show that you admitted using it, shifting the focus to whether you had proper rights, which weakens your defense. So the other big thing is the more you talk, the weaker all your defenses get, because there's more evidence against each defense, and there's more evidence for your mental state at the time. You also could accidentally violate a court order. Here we have the classic Destiny. Destiny's in a
Oh god, not the DGG Bulls.
little bit of trouble right now because he shouldn't be saying things publicly, and whatever you think it is, that's what the court. So it's when the judge decides something.
Yeah, if Destiny is saying something publicly, it better be the context behind those DMs with Willie Mac.
I just report on it. I'm always going to be like, you know what, the judge has a good point, because the judge is more well versed in these areas of law than I am. They see more cases, they see more plaintiffs, they see more defendants. Trust in the legal system. Now, there are sometimes rogue judges, as you can see online and social media, right? Judges that take bribes or rule certain ways. But with that exception, most judges are very well versed, having seen many similar cases, and they're not really going to be happy when you talk about their case on social media.
I would imagine, especially again, if you're like some of these says and blatantly spread misinformation.
Destiny is one of them.
I come from poverty, drug abuse, and domestic violence. Again, we can feel sympathy for you on that factor hunt, but you still committed malicious copyright infringement, so I don't see where we're getting with this. I've had firearms pointed at me for defending my mother from abuse. Again, same thing I just said before. Previous people like Ethan/AB will never know the violence of poverty. Again, how do you know this? Do you know their lives? Do you know what they came up off of? You do not. Just like you were just saying earlier that they don't even know who you are. What Ethan is doing with his millions is class warfare to silence criticism. I disagree. And again, silence what criticism? You spent more time smoking than you did actually talking in the video. And when you did talk in the video, you were saying that like, oh yeah, I don't even know where we are. I don't even know what's going on. Like, hun, I'm not gonna lie, you maxed out your conjuration and spawned some Jamora lords being these lawyers, but I'm not gonna lie, it needs like, not even needs, it is a factor that must happen, that you need to conjure up some brain cells. You gotta conjure up some brain cells. This is like, it's dumb. It's dumb. Is class warfare to silence criticism? You didn't even levy out criticism. You didn't say anything at all. You had nothing to add to the video at all. Nothing! Looks like she didn't cast enough spells.
He had a slam dunk win case, and he fumbled it because he essentially started talking about his case. And like we mentioned, you could violate a court order. Many copyright cases involve temporary restraining orders or preliminary injunctions. If the judge orders you not to share certain content and you post it about it online, you could be held in contempt of court, leading to fines or sanctions. Even vague posts like, "They can't stop me from speaking the truth," can be seen as defiance. And we see that in Destiny. Destiny has a... whether or not you like him as a debater, he's very defiant.
Let me see. My prayers and manifestations seem to be paying off. Good on Olivia. I hope she gives herself grace on this path to a higher self. Can you please stop mentioning her, bro? Like, again, y'all are just weaponizing her trauma, bro. Like, y'all niggas are lame as shit. She is still a young woman. Take it from me, Olivia. Nah, they shouldn't be taking shit from you. And again, Kaceytron, you are one of the same dumbasses, just like Yoko, who think they speak for all women. You don't speak for all the Huns.
Girly, girly, girly pop.
You're a fucking moron. Trust, there's some very, very, very intelligent and beautiful, gorgeous Huns, lover babes, girly pops out there, and you're not one of them. So again, we need you to stop speaking on other heads' names. Word up. But let's keep going. Trust your inner voice. I know it's calling out to you years ago. Learn from this. Yeah, there's not shit to learn, especially not from you two. Well, if we're saying you and Yoko, actually, you three, you Yoko and Denims. Fuck no, dumbass. Oh, well, actually, quadruple. You Yoko Denims, and wait, yeah, Kaceytron, Denims, Kaceytron, Frogan, and then yeah, and then her. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, self-preservation is everything in influencing. As someone who has lasted in this hellscape for 13 years, define lasting. Define lasting, because wouldn't this mean like you've been relevant the whole time? You have not been relevant the whole time, Kaceytron. What are we talking about? I was speaking the truth about people who are now making calls to violence towards Hassan years ago, when everyone was still kissing their asses because of popularity. Speaking to truth when it was speaking truth to power when it can have financial repercussions. Very scary, but I have no regrets. I am so happy with the life I've created for myself while maintaining my values. I call cap. I call cap.
He will double, quadruple, October down anytime he has the chance. Therefore, a court is not going to like that. And that's why the court hated Carl Job so much. He showed no compassion, no remorse, no evolving as a human being, no emotions, which would show that he was apologetic. And obviously there was no...
For YouTuber and content creator called Jost. Joe would get me all the time. Yo, his accent. Alright, let me see. Yeah, I pulled some cards for you, Olivia. This one's free of charge, but feel free to tip my GoFundMe. Yeah, ain't nobody giving you shit. Nobody's giving you fuck all. Anyway, 7 of Cups. Do not despair. Reframe your mind with all of the new options that are before you. You can choose any path you want. Again, I hope she does choose a path that is not down your fucking path, or Yoko's path, or Denim's path, or Kaceytron's path, or she is Kaceytron, or Frogan's path. Like, bro. Fuck. 6 of Pentacles. I'm sensing this draw is coming from a place of guilt. Now it's time, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Now it's time to make right by giving back in. Wait, what the fuck, bro? Trilly's never beating the dumbass allegations, bro. Holy shit, bro. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm sensing this draw is coming from a place of guilt. Now is time to make right by giving back in whatever way suits you. Yeah, they're not giving shit back to you. And like, if giving back means, yeah, sucking y'all niggas dick, sharing the same fucking political ideologies, rhetoric, sharing the same dumbass opinions as y'all, fuck off. Anyway, the Emperor, using your personal power to take action from a place of empathy and intuition. This is, empathy.
I just want to ask him if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Anyway, in intuition, this is what you did when you quit. Yeah, again, Kaceytron, go fuck yourself.
Apology continued on to attack Billy Mitchell later on. It is a thing that judges really don't want to see, because they don't want to be... a judge, they would rather have you resolve your issue, the plaintiff and defendant resolve an issue together. Make a decision, make a settlement. That is the best outcome for a judge, because then the judge doesn't have to do that much. They're not going to get overruled, right? There's no appeal process if 2 people agreed to a settlement. There's no court of appeals that can be done. There is just a conclusion, and the judge looks good.
Hearing people victimize themselves over criticism, meanwhile their boss is using millions of dollars to do frivolous... Okay, wait. First of all, we're breaking down. Hearing people victimize themselves over criticism. Oh my God, and Ethan and Asmongold with these incel harassment campaigns. Victimize themselves over criticism? Sounds familiar. Also sounds like a crybaby, which we know Kaceytron is. Again, meanwhile, the boss using his millions of dollars to do frivolous lawsuits. I'm pretty sure he's not even using millions of dollars. He has millions of dollars, but he doesn't probably have to use millions of dollars on you dumbasses. To do frivolous lawsuits we discussed, not a frivolous lawsuit. Again, you just won't acknowledge that you're blatantly in the wrong because you did malicious copyright infringement and put others in financial ruin. I could literally be forced to foreclose and lose my home if I can't keep up with legal fees. Once more, Kaceytron, who was the dumbass that smoked for 18 minutes instead of, actually adding more commentary? Who was a dumbass? I know people don't want to necessarily support Ethan Klein.
It makes the judge look good. And that's why court-ordered mediation is a must on a lot of this stuff, because the judge just wants to go on to the next case. If only life was that easy. It gives the opposing party a strategic advantage.
Plaintiff... I didn't even notice. Yeah, she called AB a coward, but, yeah, he's not.
And their lawyers monitor your social media for leverage. If you trash talk them publicly, it may motivate them to push harder for damages. We see this in Ethan Klein right now. They can use your tone to influence a judge or jury by painting you as reckless or unremorseful. You might
Literally Kaceytron right now, as we're seeing,
accidentally reveal your legal strategy. Even small hints like "my lawyer says we'll fight fair use" can tip off the other side about your defense strategy. They may prepare counter arguments in advance, weakening your position in settlement talks. Silence protects your settlement negotiations. Most copyright cases settle out of court. If you publicly antagonize the plaintiff, they may refuse to settle, exactly what we're seeing here.
No, I'm like, this is like 1-to-1 directly what we're seeing.
Or demand a higher payout. Staying quiet
Quiet
keeps negotiations private and professional, improving your chances of a favorable deal. So what would be the advice that the lawyer should give our good friend Kaceytron?
Shut the fuck up. That would be the best advice. And that was the one from the start.
The advice would be very simple. Go private, lock down your accounts. But they can't really do this because they make a living on live streaming. So it's kind of interesting because normally the advice that you would give somebody would tell them
it's like, it's where like that actually, like that's like true on Les's part. Like, yeah, they do this for a living, because I was about to, funny enough, mention denims. You know what I'm saying? She's obviously, I'd seen like when watching the pod, she had her own segment, so she's obviously, you know, does streaming. Type of beat, but it's like kind of an Ouroboros snake that, you know, snake or dragon that eats its tail, because like, yeah, they literally are public figures or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Heads is posting on, like, you know, not posting on, but streaming on Twitch, all this different type of jazz with that. But within that, they're also fucking self-owning dumbasses, so they're always going to be prone to doing or saying some dumbass shit, which within their lawsuit, if they're especially talking about stuff regards within that, which Kaceytron is, like Les is saying, can go pretty bad.
Lock down your accounts, directly communicate with your lawyer, document privately. These are all things done privately and not done as kind of a flash, right? Because obviously, if you are trying to get more donations, it does make sense to talk about this issue because your subscribers. Here it's Ethan doing, quote, class warfare. Kaceytron is actually incredibly wealthy. And if you look at her data on Twitch and you use something called Social Blade, even in the reigns, even if you take the bottom reigns, she is making twice as much as the average American family makes, which is pretty wealthy. So back to the bottom line. So if you're a defendant in a copyright case, social media is not your friend. I would love to speak to any lawyer who disagrees with this. I invite you.
Yeah, I doubt you'd find really that, like, just that many, like, or any, basically, because, yeah, obviously, what do you do on social media? Post, give your opinion, all this different type of jazz, and within doing that, especially if you're being sued, you're probably going to give an opinion about whatever you're being sued about, and that could fuck you, as it has been fucking them.
You two will go live stream and we can debate this issue. My stance on this will always be, is if you are a social media influencer and you're being sued, for the love of God, do not engage with the person suing you. For the love of God, do not.
Dennis Kaceytron and Frogan, level impossible.
Interact with that individual. Do not post. I mean, Frogan, for all the faults of Frogan, i.e., trying to escape service, she has yet to, in my opinion.
Yeah, Frogan was about to commit contempt of court or whatever if she didn't actually, like, you know what I'm saying, in any regard, you know, get a lawyer or accept a lawsuit. That shit, bro. If you had seen, you know what I'm saying, like a couple weeks ago, if not like a month ago or whatever, with Frogan's John, where she had the case server, had to come like 4 different times. You had to go like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning. That'd be like, one time you waited there for like 6 hours. Nah, but he got a payday though. They paid him like $25.
Aids with Ethan Klein in any capacity, and I think she is right. I think she will come out a major winner. I think the timeline is in her favor, but at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I would think that any lawyer, because remember, the lawyer is supposed to do the speaking for you. The lawyer is supposed to communicate with Ethan's lawyer.
How about I say, yeah, because, yeah, they're your legal counsel, bro, and I know for damn sure that fucking Kaceytron doesn't know shit about the law. Don't be like fucking Hassan and think you know more than lawyers. Nah, let your lawyer speak. Let me speak, bro, for some Bobby shit.
And if you guys want me to cover from Ethan's side, whether or not it's smart for him to even mention Kaceytron, I'm happy to do that. I'm just talking about the defendant side, because the defendant side is different, because the defendant, your best outcome is a settlement.
Which is not fucking happening, as we already seen and discussed, because, yep, Kaceytron decided to tweet out all this shit, and Safe to say that shit backfired on her.
A settlement is taken off the table because you...
Yeah, she about to get rinsed. I mean, rinsed for real. And she got to pay 3 fucking lawyers. Well, hey, man. That's what happens when you're an idiot.
Continue to attack the individual that is suing you. That's not smart. I mean, any lawyer is going to be really, really happy about that because they're going to bill you even more. Remember, like, again...
Shit, that's actually a good point, too.
And Billy Mitchell versus Carl Job is the biggest fee, the biggest lump sum of money.
Let me see. Yep, this is the same thing. Never mind.
Was paid to Carl's lawyer or Billy's lawyer, and then the second biggest thing was also one of the other two. So the lawyer fees were 1 and 2, almost double the actual damages awarded. It's wild, yeah. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Bye, guys.
I already know, baby. Of course. Shout out, shoulda love. Was one of the lawyers on the case? Lus. I already know, baby. That was Ethan Klein versus Kaceytron. Settlement is off the table. Denied. Yeah, that's tough. I ain't gonna lie. But not for us, and definitely for Kaceytron, and probably Denims and Frogan too. But like we said, of course, if you guys want to watch the OG video by Lus, down in the description, first link, share the name. Well, yeah, share the name around, because share the love with said name, Lus. You already know. And final opinions and conjecture. For Kaceytron specifically, at the very least. And for Denims, too, because we already know. Yeah, Denims, there was no settlement for her either. Fucked. Most definitely. This is why heads, especially, Hassan orbiters, should shut their fucking mouths. But they won't do that shit because, again, they're ego narcissist motherfuckers who only give a shit about their goddamn selves and pushing whatever bullshit ass narrative. So, yeah. Stupid actions have stupid consequences. And for Denims, Kaceytron, and Frogan, oh boy, are they seeing those consequences. They are indeed seeing them heftily. And they're seeing the bills because of them too. But yeah, seriously though, again, shout out to the love of Lust. And I'm finna catch y'all on the flip, baby. Peace.